Past performance cannot be used as an indicator to determine future results. Strategies mentioned may not be suitable for everyone. Information expressed does not take into account your specific situation or objectives and is not intended as specific recommendations appropriate for you. Before acting on any information mentioned, it is recommended to seek advice from a qualified tax professional or investment advisor to determine whether it is suitable for your specific situation.
Investment advisory services offered through Sound Income Strategies, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisory firm. McAdams Group, LLC, and Sound Income Strategies, LLC are not associated entities.
Scalpel. Sponge. Retractor. Wow, this is one messed up retirement.
Do you think you can save it?
Had they only listened to the retirement income doctor.
Welcome to the Retirement Income Doctor, Dave McAdams. Over the next hour, be prepared to hear ideas, concepts, and strategies that may challenge the way you were taught to think about saving and investing for retirement. It's time to roll up our sleeves and get to it. Now, it's your appointment with the Retirement Income Doctor, Dave McAdams.
So would you be surprised to discover that according to the American Journal of Protective Medicine, in a study that they performed, over 2/3 of all people do not have a living will, and only about 26%, roughly 1 in 4, actually have an advance directive. And while we're on the numbers game here, in my 25 years of working with hundreds and hundreds of retirees, what I would say is nearly 100% of people, including retirees, do not have all of their affairs in order. You're listening to the Retirement Income Doctor. I'm your host, David McAdams. Today we're going to be talking about 12 must-dos that everyone should complete in order to get their affairs in order. 12 must-dos to get your affairs in order. Now, the first thing I want to talk about in terms of getting your affairs in order is the importance of having a really concise and updated guide for your loved ones. If you're incapacitated, or God forbid you're deceased, there will be a survivor, there'll be someone. Sometimes it's a spouse, sometimes it's an adult child, it could even be a friend. But someone's going to be thrust into trying to figure out everything. Now, you know, one of the things that we do for our clients, we give all of our clients a 20-page document called a survivor's guide. And obviously it's talking about when you go, whoever survives you needs a guide. But I'll tell you, I've seen that guide become a critical tool in the event that someone is just incapacitated. And the guide's very comprehensive. We don't have time to go over every page on today's show, but when I'm going over this guide with clients, I get tickled because I have a very fond memory of a client years ago. She was 85 when she started working with us. And in the survivor's guide, it actually, you list the physical location of all of your critical documents. And why I get tickled is because she said, well, my birth certificate's in my sewing drawer, because of course, I guess that's where the birth certificate goes, right? She said she had some tax records that were in some storage in her home, kind of separated from other things in storage. She had a will, but it was down at the bank. It was locked up in the bank box. Why? Don't know. You know, bank boxes can be good for certain things. I don't think I would keep a will in there. You know, if someone breaks into your house and steals your television set, they probably don't really want a copy of your will. But it was down at the bank, and she had some investments and records with her various bank CDs, stocks, etc., that she kept in some filing cabinets. Now, she shared with me, she said if my daughter, she had a daughter, if my daughter came into my home and just needed to put her hands on the critical documents that she would need, she would be digging through boxes for months and months and months, just trying to figure out what's current, what's not current, who she needs to call, etc. We always recommend that our clients maintain your critical documents in one location, preferably a fireproof box. It should be thick enough, with thick enough walls to hold up to real temperature for a longer length of time. I like the ones where there's ledges when you open it up because it creates kind of a hanging file system. So you can have wills, powers of attorney, life insurance, mortgage information, whatever applies in there. A Good Survivor's Guide is going to cover a lot of other information. You know, we were talking about safe deposit boxes. They've done studies where they've determined that billions and billions and billions of dollars are stuck in banks all over the country where the banks can't locate next to kin. You know, people move, they get divorced, they change jobs, they die in car accidents. Banks don't have unlimited resources to chase people down and figure out where you are today. There's billions and billions of dollars in unclaimed assets where someone had an asset that the person died and no one ever filled the beneficiary form out. It could be an old life insurance policy, it could be an old 401k. But those eventually roll up to the state and become unclaimed assets. So you'd be surprised at what applies to your situation. The Good Survivor's Guide is going to have funeral information. It's going to have a smart money chart